That's absolutely what we're doing, because the five senses decode vibrational frequencies and then send those signals to the brain, and it's the brain that decodes them into the reality we think we're experiencing. So hypnotists can manipulate reality in their various forms. The visual cortex areas of the brain do it in relationship to the eyes. What we think is out there actually exists, symbolically anyway, in our head. We're in the equivalent of a holographic internet. We are decoders, we are awareness, we are decoding frequency fields in exactly the same way, in principle, as a computer decodes the wireless internet. We live in an illusory reality in the sense that, you know, quantum physics has shown that this world is illusory, in the sense that science says that this physical world is made of atoms. But everything in this world that appears so solid, including us, is made of atoms. And atoms have no solidity. They're pockets of energy. That's all they are. So how does something that has no solidity make up a solid world? It can't. What's the answer to this? Well, it's simple. The world ain't solid. The bottom line is this. Everything is conscious. What we call creation is like an ocean of infinite energy, which is manifesting itself in different forms. Okay, now once you have accepted that what we're told is possible is how it is, then you're living in a box that big. So anyone that starts to talk about things that are beyond that perception of possibility, you immediately dismiss them as crazy. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. A few centuries ago, when people said the Earth was a sphere, they were perceived as crazy and dangerous. And one of the reasons was that if you lived on the bottom of a ball, you would fall off. Right? Now, once you introduce the law of gravity, what appears at first sight to be a nonsensical idea becomes perfectly logical. However, if you suppress at that time knowledge of the law of gravity, then people are going to dismiss the truth because they can't perceive that the truth can be possible.
The universe and your own bodies are like a hologram. That's why cloning can be done from one cell of your body. Every cell of your body contains the image of the whole. Every little, what they call little pixel of a hologram, contains the image of the whole thing. So that if any part of the hologram is disturbed or broken, it can be replicated with any of the other pieces. That's why they only need one little piece of your DNA to create a whole new you. That's because you're a hologram. Physical reality is about holographic imagery, and that's what this is. That's why we exist the way we do. This is all an illusion. Everything here is an illusion and is really symbolic of the mind pattern behind it. So everything in physical reality is a mirror of the non-physical mind pattern, and the brain connection to the body is evidence of that. Opposite sides of my brain are controlling opposite sides of my body. What does that tell us about existence? Physical reality then is what of non-physical? Opposite, it's a mirror image.
So everything that exists is everything that exists. I am everything that exists. So are you. The more you realize that, the more you open up to the full infinity of who you are. Your life transformed. Your vision of yourself is transformed. Your vision of everything is transformed. The more you see yourself as just an individual, ordinary little man and woman in the street, I got no power, mate, what can I do? Once you do that, you are shutting yourself off from the infinity of who you are, and you become a fraction of what you are. And then you are able to be controlled, but only then. Which is why this understanding has been so suppressed.
That's where most people live their lives. In a sense of, I can't, mate, I could never, mate, all the best things in life happen to someone else, mate. Oh, what can I do? And when we're there, piece of cake, manipulator in one hand while having a cup of tea in another. When we're here, we're a manipulator's nightmare, breaking the eggshell, breaking the sense of limitation, breaking the sense of fear, the fear of what other people think of us. How many people watching this video now would love to say something, but they think, oh, God, what will my mother say? Oh, what will they think of me? Oh, you'd love to do something in your life, and you say, oh, well, what will they think? I couldn't give a damn what they think. They have a right to think what they like, but so do you and so do I. We forgot that. And once we start believing that because people are different to us, they must be wrong, then we're in a situation where whoever sets the norms in society runs the world. What is that line we hear? The kingdom of heaven is within you. Everything that exists is within us.
The real war is on consciousness. And too many people forget in this conspiratorial movement, so to speak, or an alternative history. And I will not ever make that mistake. Science has often left consciousness at the door, and look at what has happened to science. Now it has to bring it back in because the science basically run aground in the 1970s from all the time of leaving consciousness out and so-called objectivity. But we must not make the same mistake. So no matter whatever permutations of the tyranny that you see openly, as awful as that is in the 3D world, never forget first that it's all about attack here. It's they live. It's psychic dictatorship.
What are we bombarded with throughout our lives? Messages about limitation, about the fact that we can't do this, and I can't, I could never mentality. A fear of experience, because so much experience is denied to us by people saying, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that. Religion has bombarded the psyche with born sinners. Great start in life, that, isn't it? So we're constantly being hit by this sense of limitation. I can't, I could never, I'm frightened to. So we have a limited imagination of ourselves. We have created that physical reality of a pyramidal system. People say, oh, those people, that elite, that global elite, are very powerful, aren't they? No! The power that is used to manipulate the human race day after day is merely the power the human race gives away day after day. That's all. So there we are in this hassle-free zone pyramid, right? And everyone's on everyone else's shoulders, and these different levels in the hierarchy of society. And each level saying to the one below, don't you move, you stay where you are, I'm depending on you. You know, if you walk out of there, the whole system will be collapsed, it'll be chaos, there'll be, oh, hunger, and oh, it'll be terrible. So, oh, all right, I'll just stay here. And each level of this pyramid, everyone else is terrified into stepping out of it because they're terrified of the consequences of not being in this prison. We have been conditioned to forget where the power lies in a pyramid. It's not up there, it's here. It's all an illusion. And it's an illusion that we can enjoy, or it's an illusion that can control us. But what has happened is that we have forgotten that we are the dream and the dreamer. And the dream has taken over. And the dream has led us to believe that we are a part. We think in terms of parts, not whole. We think in terms of David Icke, not infinite consciousness. And therefore, we got caught in an illusory trap of division.
The way I feel it works, and interestingly, increasingly open-minded scientists feel it works, is that everything in creation is the same energy, and energy is consciousness, energy consciousness. So we're looking at creation being one gigantic consciousness, one gigantic mind, of which we are all parts. So we're like droplets of water in an ocean of consciousness. We're individual to a certain extent, but all together we make up the whole. And this consciousness is broken up into different levels of evolution. And one of the things that because of the programming that we do is when we talk about life after death or heaven, we look up, don't we? heaven must be at 30.